all I ever hear in this house.
It's Curry, catches. It's a three. Wow, footies by Methrin. Down he goes. Gets it off on his back. He's got it. Porzingis hard into Lopez. Count it. Porzingis, it's a three. Bullseye. In with 5 fouls. Sets up with a three. Wow! It's Green. Oh, shuffling. It's Horford for three. Got it. Hard charging Santos. Corner three, Horford. Got it. It's Santos in the corner. Do it again. Got away, drives. Horford three for the lead. Got it. Bumped Curry. Three. Good. Scored in the fourth, and here he's got the ball. Green in front. Green steals the ball.
You just got to put the great Steph Curry in a position to be great. And that's what you do. Come on now.
I didn't do nothing, but what I will tell you is between Dre, Steph, Gee, Big Al, do it.
That first team?
Oh my.
Hola, yay, area. How is it going? Happy Thursday evening. We are the HUMM Daddies. I'm Jake Lucas. I am with my good old gypsy boy, Jibber himself, Dave Greenstein. And tonight we have Heat Check's own Artavon, Diggity, Daggity, Davity, Wobbity, Davaron. How you doing, y'all? What's going on, Dave? What a win last night, guys. We talked about it for an hour plus, but how are we feeling today about it, Dave Greenstein?
I was silently watching every one of your words last night, guys. Oh, what a game. It doesn't get old. I watched the highlights. I made this little reel about 30 minutes ago, and I've watched it probably 6 times already, and I still get goosebumps because it's goosebump time of the year if you're a basketball fan. And when you watch Steph Curry put the leather through the nylon, it's as beautiful as we watched it 10 years ago, 11 years ago. It doesn't get old. I'm scared to never see it again. And so every one of these moments, I feel like this could be the last Steph Curry game. And so I'm honored to watch. But anyway, you guys had some great words last night, and I look forward to tackling it all over again and teeing up some Giants baseball, whatever the hell that looks like, whatever that means. And anything else we want to get into. Art, how's it going, man? Glad to have this. Is the first time we got to do a pod together. I'm excited about this. Really? Second time. We did the one way back before you were part of the full team, and excited to get in the paint with you.
How's the echo? Is there not the echo, but are we getting that same static as last night?
Sounds pretty clean to me.
Crunch, that bite.
No bite. No. We're good. Okay.
You have a microphone plugged in?
I do have the mic plugged in, but I'm having technical difficulties. If you knew the last hour I had, which I'm guessing you may have tried to text me in the last hour, and I
called you
on. It's been one hell of an hour. Do you remember, Jake, the day I believe you saw me building a absolutely ridiculous cat house, an indoor cat house?
Yes.
That thing cost a fair amount of money. Took me a full day to build. Was never used other than like a couple times for no real reason. And then I just spent an hour ruining every wall in the walkway, just crushing the thing to pieces to get it out of the upstairs. Literally took an axe to it. And if at any point I can show you the damage during this podcast, but we probably won't, the most hectic hour you could possibly have.
Why did you not film yourself destroying this thing like it's from the Office Space and you're beating the shit out of a printer? That's all I can think of.
There's film of my wife taking an axe to it. She had to from there. She assured me it could go down the stairs. I told her it could not. It could not. And by the time it was where it was, there was nobody but her that was going to be the problem solver. And anyway, problem solved. We're here. We're going to talk Warriors. We're going to talk Giants. Maybe we're going to talk about the A's losing a big game to Texas. God knows what we're going to get into, but I know we're going to get into those beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Golden State Warriors. I love your jerseys. what a night it was last night. So much to talk about. So many amazing performances. I'm sure folks might have been on last night, but damn it, I'm sure they want to talk about it again, because what else do we want to talk about other than what are they? What's the name of the episode? Our Olden State Warriors, or what did you end up calling
Golden Oldies. The
Golden Oldies.
I mean, come on, these Golden Oldies, absolute treat. What a night. Getting to watch Draymond turn back. You guys hear the update from tonight, I'm sure, right? That he was throwing up pregame. He was totally barely able to. Oh, the guy was yakking pregame right before the game. Shams put it out today. Day. He was sick. He was throwing up right in the locker room, apparently. I'm not sure exactly where, right pregame. And people are talking about that's why he looked so sluggish to start the game. That's why he was struggling. Dude was dealing with something, either sick, food poisoning, and then he just fucking geared up for the fourth quarter. He said, not today.
You sure it wasn't just nerves?
I don't think Draymond's nervous person. But I mean,
that's crazy. So that's why he missed that extended amount of time in the second half. I'm sure he had to just chill, and then probably got blasted with a bunch of electrolytes.
Yeah, I thought Kerr was just agreeing with me that he looked like shit, and you needed to put on the bench. Apparently, part of the reason he didn't look so good was he was struggling with his health. But yeah, it was. What a night, man. I can't wait to get into it more. I imagine we're going to spend time on it. And yeah, I mean, there's so many, every player, there's something to say other than, the most whatever player of the night. And maybe he played bad, I guess you could say. So maybe he just was Melton. I am barely even your boy, Jake. I mean, your boy was sort of just the only guy that's not really worth talking about from last night. Everybody else.
He had a really good first half. You're tripping.
Pretty unmemorable ball game from Melton.
The problem with Melton is we hoped that in the start of the fourth quarter he could have the non-Steph Curry minutes be at least like a break even, and he was turning it over. He wasn't really doing the things he wanted. But that's what we remember, because after that we took off. I mean, it was just an absolute perfect rest of the quarter. There's a bunch of turnovers, all the things we were like, we can't have any more of those. No more turnovers, no more missed free throws. The first part of the fourth quarter was where this team is. We're toast. Well, as was noted by Art many times.
The biggest run happened. The run that put us in the right direction for the rest of the game was literally Steph coming in for pods. That's when the run happened.
But I mean, Steph coming in for anybody at that point would have been good.
Yeah, but Pods was just losing turnovers, not getting boards, just bricking. It was one of those bad spirals that Pods gets in. He was in the middle of one.
Pods is only really effective when he's on the court with very good players. He's not the leader on the court. He's a guy who thrives by being the extra energy guy around the talent. That's what Pods is. That's okay, but we know that's what he is. So you got to put him in that position to be successful. You can't expect him to be the number 2 option ever and have any success on the court.
Yeah. What up, John Joseph? I saw Don Peralta earlier. How's it going, guys? We're going to talk more Dubs and Brags. Oh, my God. The 3 saviors of the Hum Daddies, the guys who are there for us through thick and thin. Let's keep that chat line live tonight, boys. We had a couple newbies last night on our Warriors postgame. I hope these guys check in as well, our new fans, thanks to probably Mr. 95.7 himself.
Zacharuski. Hey, I got some good clips for us too tonight, by the way. So if we're looking for some clips, we can throw those in whenever you guys are ready.
Absolutely. Let's get into it.
Did you dial up some Warriors clips? Is that what we're thinking? We got some Steve Kerr.
We got some Kerr. We got some more Draymond. We got a little Kawhi. We got some things. Yeah. So, when you guys are feeling like we don't have any, we got to fill the air because we can't ourselves. Just dial up G over here.
Yeah. Well, that's never going to happen. We'll get able to fill air whenever we want.
There's going to be some context to the air. We're going to put like a little.
I'll interject as it's needed. You got it.
Sniff it. We're going to think about it. We're going to react to it.
All right, so I'm saying this is what I'm thinking. Let's keep riding the high of the Dubs for the first half of the show, something like that. We'll get into the Giants won today. It's the first Giants game I haven't watched maybe all year. And they
Who's
won.
cooling now?
Yeah. I guess it started at 9:30. Wasn't on my mind at all. I'm so glad I didn't watch it because it was 0-0. I think it's like the 8th inning. So no thanks. But we'll get into that. Zach and I had a long negative Giants talk on Tuesday. And I want to talk a little Sharks. Their season just ended like an hour ago. Celebrini made Sharks history. Didn't make the playoffs, but we can maybe get a little nostalgic on the best season they've had in years. Absolutely in years. So let's talk Dubs, dude. So, okay. Last night we kind of recapped the game for over an hour. John Joseph was there. A couple people, watching, I'm sure, heard that. But where do you want to start? Let's start previewing tomorrow. We're facing Dylan Brooks. We're facing D Book. And the Dylan Brooks factor, it seems like we play this fucker in the playoffs every single year. Like in some fashion. What's that?
You see him chirping?
I saw that he said he wanted Golden State, and he hasn't learned anything from getting in their heads.
Dave,
or trying to get in their heads. Yeah, roll it.
You guys can hear? Volume good?
Nope. Volume. Need volume.
Volume. Sorry. Here we go.
There's Artie.
I think it mattered to some people like myself. I would like to see the Warriors. But I think we're ready for both. Now I only know it's Warriors. Good stepping stone for us, figuring out.
What is it about the Warriors for you that makes it you want to play them?
Steph and Draymond. That's it. And Steve Kerr.
We can listen to more, but there's not a lot left for him to really say. Honestly,
this comes after Dave Friday. Before this came out, he was already talking about when they were talking about their next game. He was just referencing playing against the Clippers and having to gear up to play Kawhi because he gave the Warriors no chance to beat the Clippers. Sorry, I gave the wrong day, but yeah. When he was post game. He freaking was talking about meeting up with Kawhi, and they said, there's still a game to be played. The person interviewing him was like, it might be the Warriors. And he said, oh, nah, man, the Clippers are coming in with momentum. The Warriors are a mess. Like, he basically wrote off the Warriors for that game. Then he said he wants them now. It's just talk about, like, giving bulletin board material for people who don't need it. And maybe it doesn't do anything, but frankly, I think it actually does. Like, I don't know that Steph, Dre needed much, but actually I think they do thrive a little off that type of stuff, particularly with Dylan Brooks. And so I'm very happy to have him provide a little extra energy for those old legs for one more night. People don't realize anything to give those old legs a jolt. We will take anything to get your back feeling a little bit better for that one night. We'll take. So Dylan Brooks, you're a moron. Dylan Brooks, you had a pretty good season, but Dylan Brooks, you're going to be pretty disappointed in about what are we talking? 24 and a half, 26 hours or so?
Dylon. The guy had a tell. You could see it in his face. Just a little bit of like, I'm a little uncomfortable playing these guys because they like beating me. They remember the initial GP2 push in the back that changed the trajectory of that series. They beat me up in Houston. Here we are again. More Dylan Brooks. We love beating Dylan Brooks. Who beat the shit out of us all year? The Trailblazers. What a gift to get the Suns in this second play-in game. Couldn't have asked for a better 1-2. I mean,
absolutely. And so let me think on this. Brooks, it seems like every time we play him, he runs his mouth, he tries to play head games, and he almost loses every time. I think the one time they got us was that play-in game against Memphis in when was that, like 2023, the year after.
That was a fun Dubs team too. Yeah.
And that's the one time Dylan Brooks beat us. But last year, lost in game 7, didn't talk to the media. He's just a pussy. He talks all this crap. He does it to LeBron, and he just gets clowned on, and he ends up losing. He ends up costing his club.
Yeah.
We embarrassed the Grizzlies in multiple series, on the way to the title in 22. We beat Dylan Brooks on the, so
no one talks more shit and gets beat than Dylan Brooks. The Kevin Durant video of him talking shit, and then KD just crosses him over and puts him on his ass. Like,
he's
Dylan,
providing
stop.
adrenaline to these dudes, and he's done it before. So this dumbass never learns his lesson.
I think
I can't wait for tomorrow, and that's a huge element of the game.
I think he learned from Beverly and thought Beverly has this all figured out. Beverly knew how to like kind of back it up a bit. He was annoying as shit, but he could back it up and just kind of get in your head. This guy, he's toast.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dylan Brooks is actually, I don't even hate on Dylan Brooks as a player. I think he's a successful player. I think he's an underrated player. I give him actually mad props for being almost like, I don't know. I think he was on the verge of out of the league when Memphis didn't want him, when he had sort of put himself on thin ice with Memphis and like, no, we're not signing you. You're not part of this. Everybody was like, oh, whoa, if you don't want him, like you're the team that's supposed to really want him. He's the, he's the instigator, the antagonist, so like you should want him. You don't want him. And he's been wherever he's gone. They've played good ball. I'm forgetting he was on Houston. Yeah, so he was on Houston.
Yeah, Houston.
They were winning. Now he's on Phoenix, a very overachieving team. I mean, this team is not very talented roster. So I'll give him a little credit where credit's due, but he's kidding himself for this chatter. He's just absolutely kidding himself.
And he had a great year. To your point, he had a really solid year in Phoenix.
Absolutely.
But he's had solid years before. But when it comes time to play the Dubs for the postseason, he chokes it off.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to need one X factor that, like, I don't really – he's had a pretty ordinary season, as they'd say if we were overseas. Mark Williams. He's, I guess, one guy I worry about as a Warrior. He's 7'1", center. He was up-and-coming baller for the Hornets, right? Just 2 years ago, people thought he was going to be maybe one of the next big things as far as big men in the NBA. He's had injuries that have sort of derailed his career. He plays relatively low minutes.
There's that weird Lakers trade.
Yeah, with Burnett or whatever, who now sucks as well. They both are struggling. But I do think he's like sort of an X factor for Phoenix. Also, the other they got another like power forward center dude. He's like 6'11", Iguodaro. I don't actually know how to pronounce his name. Oso Iguodaro. I think he's a rookie. They got a couple dudes with length and a couple dudes that I really hope we don't feel tomorrow. I feel like if we feel them, it's going to be a closer game.
This isn't a gimme game by any stretch, Art. No game is for the Warriors this season against anybody because we're in shambles half the time. And then when we're not, you're just like, you don't know what you're going to get out of any guy. And last night, everybody showed up right when they had to. And that was the most impressive thing about this game is just how they gelled when they absolutely had to. And there's no way you could do anything other than be perfect when you're down 13 or whatever it was late, halfway through the fourth. They gelled. And that was the thing that was cool about watching this basketball game is watching guys kind of all of a sudden kind of figure it out, get together, have a common goal and purpose and like love doing it. That was fun to see. And Guy Santos, you guys talked a lot about him last night. Obviously we've been chatting about, I've been chatting him up about his documentary that's coming through, which you can watch with subtitles because it's in Portuguese on the Brazilian YouTube channel. But the guy is so easy to root for. Art, you said it perfectly. And he is kind of becoming what you hope might be our Manu Ginobili over the next 10 years. You kind of just hope he can be even close. That's a high ceiling, right? All right. But for the style of play, for having to come in and be like, who is this guy? Manu was who's Manu when he first showed up. It wasn't like he was a proven God. That guy's going to be a star. And he's got moves. He's shown up more than we thought he had. He had talent. We thought he was just an energy guy. He was an energy guy because he had to be. Because he said Steve Kerr pretty much said, "Be an energy guy." Curry said, "Be an energy guy. As long as you do that, you'll stay on the court." And now you proved that you can do that. Give you a little more opportunity with guys getting hurt, and he's shown up so much that I think he inspires the older guys now because he wants to win as much as they do. And I think that's kind of where I get kind of light on this team and excited at any more games we can watch. Even if we win this one and get swept, if I get 5 more games out of this season, I'm a happy camper.
Hell yeah. That's a win of a season if we get this W and get a series. and 5 more games. So you're thinking we get swept by OKC? No way, not a chance. We're taking them to 7, bare minimum. You know, I think
I said even if. But I hear you.
But yeah, Guy has proven himself, especially under the bright lights last night. You know, last night I had this feeling all day and the day before and the day before. I've been wearing this hat every day since the season ended, waiting for that game to happen. So it's my good luck hat. I haven't taken it off, not even asleep. And it's I expected like a high playoff energy, big game feel last night, and that's what we got. And there's tons of memes about it. There's tons of coverage all over the internet, all over Twitter, all over Instagram. All the big figures in the NBA and the press are talking about it. Last night was a momentous, huge, eventful game, and Warriors fans were shitting themselves thinking that it was going to be just a yawn. Where'd you guys get that opinion, huh? Looking at you, Don Peralta. Why didn't you tune in last night?
I think part of the reason it's so momentous and part of the reason it has captured the sports world the way it did and the way it captured us is because, I saw on Twitter somebody said, like we got to see the touch of God again last night or something along those lines. And something about being a Warriors fan for this era and getting to experience it. And media's been along for the ride since this as well. And how much that hasn't been the case this year, how much people did feel the way we were feeling. You weren't, right? But people did feel pretty dejected about this Warrior squad to all of a sudden get to experience what felt like the game, 5 playoff games during the Western Conference to felt like an NBA Finals game.
Yeah.
It wasn't because of what was on the line last night. It was because we got to see people who had done it on that stage do it in a stage that felt that big for a moment, just like Steve Kerr said. And I feel like if you have that clip, I'd love to hear it because like that quote was like poetry to my ears. And it was just amazing the way he said, for one more night, we're champions again, even if that sounds silly, like that's what it felt like to the whole world because you got to watch 2 of the greats. And I don't care how much we dog Draymond. I don't care how much limitations Draymond has. Draymond Green has been at the center of one of the best franchises in the history of the NBA, one of the best runs in the history of the NBA, maybe until now, one of the more underrated runs in the history of the NBA. And people were thrilled to be able to get to see it again because we literally may never see it again.
Yeah.
Because that was one of those moments, right? We don't know when we're going to get another game that feels like that. We're going to get more playoff games. We'll be back in the playoffs again next year. We'll probably get another moment like that because Steph Curry doesn't let us down. That's just what happens once the playoffs, probably more than once. But it was magic. It was magic to get to watch that again. It was
Absolutely. And let's keep speaking on that. Before you play the video, John Joseph, thank you so much in the comments. The game last night was one for the ages, and even better was y'all's after game coverage and back and forth banter, straight fire. We can't thank you guys enough for watching us. So, yeah, let's hear what old Steve Kerr had to say.
Big shout out to the chat group. Let's go, Steve.
Steve, how would you describe Steph and Draymond down the stretch there tonight?
I've been watching them for 12 years. There's a reason we have 4 championships, and it's the competitiveness, the heart, the will, and just. It's been such a tough year, but to just show, what they're made of, what we're made of, and there were, a lot of guys who came through. So obviously the spotlight is on them because of everything they've accomplished. But I just told them it was, with all the wins we've ever had here, a lot of them with a lot more at stake. This is right up there, just because. Of where we are and our age and our, the decline of our performance this year, the injuries. It was just a display of, just a beautiful display of competitive will. And this is why Steph came back. So everybody out there who thought Steph should have taken the rest of the year off.
Yeah.
This is what he does. This is who he is. If he can compete, he's going to compete. And it was just incredible to watch.
Preach. Preach.
Yeah, I mean,
Jump in.
no, Steve, this is Steve's last year potentially. And so, it's not like Steph's going out there doing it for Steve. Steph's going out there doing it for the love of the game. But to get Steve excited about getting another one like this, that kind of like reinvigorates his, love of being a coach and getting to coach one of the, top, I think, 5 players of all time at this point. You can argue top 10 easily. It's just super just rewarding to watch Steve get to have it again. I just love it for him more than anybody right now because Steph's coming back next year. We don't know what Draymond might be doing.
Dave. I think you're overselling this. Kerr will be back with these boys next year.
He very well could be, but you never know. I mean, again, like we don't know how many more playoffs. They may not make the playoffs next year. Injuries can happen very quickly with this team. So it's just nice to get this again, see it, feel it, even if it's one less from a title.
Well, Kerr said, he said multiple times in the past he's going to be the coach as long as Steph plays for the Warriors. And I'm sure they're going to offer him the job, and I'm sure they're going to pay him a ton. But it sounds like he might be a little disgruntled with not getting listened to in the personnel department, like the actual roster construction. So as long as they give him that and, kind of spell out what their plan is, I'm sure Steve will be back. There's a small percentage he won't be back. And,
what do you mean the personnel? You mean like the Kuminga situation or something else?
Roster construction. The roster. He wants to say and who's on the team because apparently he's just been kind of letting Dunleavy do his thing. And we all know the GMs of the Warriors, Myers and Dunleavy, have gotten overridden or overrode by Mr. Lacob lately. And he's kind of, pulled some real BS as far as like who he likes and how Pods was untradeable, in the marketing situation.
Yeah, but also Kerr plays Pods all the time, so that's not it.
No, I'm just saying he wants to have say, I think, now, as far as the roster is concerned. And they drafted, for instance, Kuminga over Franz Wagner, who he wanted. And Myers wanted, I believe, too. And that was a great call.
But speaking of roster moves, the one that I think is paying off big right now, baby, is this man right here.
Oh, yeah. Unicorn.
Been on the same side as Al in situations.
Like a tennis player. I love it.
In
Backwards
what
white
was
cap.
it like watching him just explode there in the second half?
Yeah, he's unreal. I'm happy I'm on his side now, because I used to be on the other side, and there's not much you can do when this guy gets going and is hitting these wild shots. It's like it's truly like unique, even just as his teammate, to witness that. So this is one of the most special players we've ever seen.
What does that do for your confidence when you're playing from behind most of the game, knowing that you have
of course, to know that we have this kind of a guy, this kind of a weapon, and what he's capable of, we're going to be dangerous at any point of the game, no matter how much we're down. So he was huge tonight.
Even the way people speak about these guys, the way they speak about Steph and Draymond, it's pretty incredible. Steph, obviously a different level, just like the amount of lore he gets in the league. It's pretty rare that you got an entire league in awe of you, and the entire league is in awe of Steph Curry in a way that, I would argue damn near more than Jordan. I'd say it's debatable. Jordan was doing something that was different. It was physical. It was freakish. It was wild. But this shit is freakish in a whole different way, and it's at least the same to me. And the way people look at him, they don't understand what they're really watching, and they just want to appreciate it. And to me, hearing Garland post game, he's talking about what happened. He said what happened was 30 in the fourth quarter. That is the ultimate compliment. You just lost, your season just ended, and you're kind of I can't even be that mad because that's just what happened. What do you mean? What happened? That happened. We've been watching that for 15 years, right? And then Kawhi gives sort of the ultimate compliment, which to me felt like a very tiny bit of a cop out, but more a compliment, where he just praised Draymond's D and the Warriors D and said he couldn't even get a shot up. To to get the stars of the other team to have their reaction right when their season ends, to basically be like, we need to praise a couple of legends that deserve to be praised. That's pretty off the hook. Like, that's wild to me.
All right, Dave, you got
It
another
was a
clip?
3-point game in the fourth quarter, and I believe up until the layup at the end, you only took about one shot. Ty credited the way that Draymond, his physicality, and the way that they were swarming and blitzing you in pick and rolls. Just kind of wondering what beyond that, like, did they do anything that really kind of limited the ability for you to kind of get off more shots?
That was it right there. They had a great game plan, just being physical all game. Making sure I don't get no catch and shoot shots, blitzing every, pick and roll, getting in the post, seeing two bodies. And then, Draymond, Hall of Fame defender. It was hard to even get shots up.
And then
I think that this to me was the part of the game that I didn't see coming. Draymond Green, what he did to Kawhi, what the Warriors really did to Kawhi in this game, I was expecting in the fourth quarter, as I've seen it so many times, Kawhi was going to get to his spot, take a couple of long fadeaways and cash him in, and we were going to bang our head on the wall and say, God, you got us, damn it. Mm-hmm. Not last night, and Draymond put his foot in the ground and stopped the whole thing. Other guys came in and made some buckets, obviously, and made it close. Was by no means a give. But the fact that he had one bucket being a dunk off of an assist, and that was it. And other than that, there was a silence from Kawhi Leonard, who has had a great season, arguably like he's as good as he's ever been. And even Draymond said it in one of his interviews. It was a testament to the Warriors knowing a player, knowing a style, and knowing how to win a basketball game when they just had their backs against the wall and have been there more times than Kawhi and this team has been. So it was just, it was awesome.
Dave, I had that fear too. I was like, it's going to start happening. Kawhi's going to start hitting big shots. He's going to put this game away. And then, that was a fear. It's not what I thought was necessarily definitely going to happen, but that fear is always there with Kawhi Leonard. He gets hot and he puts games away. That's what he does. He did it to us multiple times over the years.
His first half, he was good, man. He was hitting all those pump fakes. He was just ball faking in different directions, getting guys to move. He just controlled people. He was doing it on both sides of the court. But again, credit where credit's due. Draymond didn't throw up in the fourth quarter. That guy hammered him.
Yeah,
picked him.
There's just a moment though where the switch flipped, and it was like, wait, Kawhi is not going to do that. Kawhi is getting shut down right now. The momentum is in our favor. This is going the right way. And it was a palpable kind of moment there where you saw that fear of Kawhi, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, that shit's not going to happen. We might have this game. And I think that was kind of a communal feeling for everyone tuned in, like energy-wise, as far as Warriors fans, if you know the team and if you were paying very close attention. Artie, did you feel the same way?
Yeah, that Draymond D, there was a few things that struck me about it. Having a center did help allow Draymond to play on ball more.
That's a good point. That's a good point. He could stretch the floor a little bit
down low, but he was able to play on ball. So that's one thing that I just noticed that is a benefit of having Porzingis is you have him anchoring the middle now, and so you got Draymond being able to play a little bit more like he used to play. But aside from that, this is like not there. This is just an observation I had while watching, and it just reminded me his D reminded me of vintage Draymond D with a fucking twist or a splash of the We Believe Warriors guarding Dirk. Like, because he was doing the individual D, but the way they were trapping Kawhi so quickly, and it wasn't the same thing. It was like Dirk was getting trapped the second he got the ball. He couldn't turn around. He was getting confused, just there from the backside before he knew it. But similar to Kawhi couldn't believe he would take one step and boom, it was there like every time, right? Right when he thought he was going to get around, he was getting trapped. And I would just say that big shout out to Draymond, but big shout out to the team defense down the stretch. The team defense was incredible. We were grabbing boards, first of all, so there weren't too many second shots. And then number two, on the biggest possession of the game, and forgive me, the way I am, I don't know, my brain is so weird. I can't remember specific plays very well. And like if it was when we were down 3 with 50 seconds left, but I think it was something like that when we were up like 1 with like 50 seconds left or something, when they rotated and Curry was the one that stepped up. And Curry's always given a hard time for D, but he stepped up on the right side of the key, stopped the driver. We got the miss, got the board. And I just want to say Draymond's getting all the love, deservedly so. But the team defense down the stretch was fucking incredible. The traps were hard. The if somebody got by, there was nowhere to go, and they were securing the rebound. So, like, yes, Draymond was just Draymond, but the whole team showed up. And fingers crossed, knock on wood, I'm still worried about that knee. I mean, the way he grabbed at that knee.
I think it might have been a cramp. I think he might have been cramping up, which would make sense if he was throwing up a lot before the game that he just didn't have anything left in the tank.
A weird part. You receiver he grabbed. I was like,
yeah.
Anyway,
that was a little
about it. So hopefully he's fine.
Hey, Art, on that point though, and another key play that I think is overlooked. D had some weird mistakes during this game, and we talked about this a little bit in our text thread, which he's got a little bit of mental hurdles to go over. He's still young. Give him a little bit of break here and there. But the play of the game from him, as good as he was on offense and as good as he was at the end of that third quarter that helped get the Warriors from 11-6, was on defense within the last, I think, minute and a half. And it was on a possession where he came weak side help. And a guy who was trying to catch a ball with a long arm at a post, and he tapped it away and grabbed it. And it's just one of those other plays where you realize the momentum is going beyond just we're hitting our shots. And we could talk all day about Al Horford and his 4 3-pointers. But the momentum you pick up on defense is, I think, 2x what it is on hitting a 3 on the offensive side. That defense and those turnovers just demoralize a team, and that the fan base gets really anxious. And that was like palpable.
We've been on the other end of that, right? Like there's those games that the Dubs just can't help but turn the ball over in the fourth and cough up leads. Like we've done that so many times over the years, especially when say a guy was down, or like last year against Minnesota, or even in play-in games against the Kings. I mean, that shit it's contagious. And then once you start getting locked down on D, if you're the team getting locked down, like you said, you start questioning yourself. You start questioning, can we pull this off? So the defense was right. Yeah, I mean, you're right. The Horford threes were huge. Steph was obviously huge on offense, but that defense
was good too. Watching him when he gets young and he just all of a sudden turns back the clock. His feet are moving so quick. He's staying in front of people. Lateral movement. It's freaking incredible, man. He just turns back the clock every once in a while. Like you said last night, you've seen it on Boston, right? To get to watch it as a Warriors fan was so fun, because I loved him on Atlanta. I loved those Josh Smith squads. You know, I'm weird. I like random squads. I kind of like those little. I still like my Hawks, as we know. So Al Horford has kind of been someone I've always had a little bit of. For a little sweet spot for it. I'm like, oh, now we get to it. And it was an annoying year. I was like, damn, you've been pretty much just sucking all year. I got this annoying ass. I suck all year, Horford. And then to get to watch him in the most important game, just be like,
we got him for the playoffs, Art. We just hoped he'd survive the regular season and be around for the playoffs and be ready to play his best basketball.
And we expected to be a bit of a higher seed, but I mean, we got an epic, like, classic Warriors game out of him, and that's gonna be the impression we have of him. If he's one and done as a Warrior, I mean, he's going to be involved in one of our greatest wins aside from championship years ever.
He'll be back. I'm pretty confident he's coming back.
Yeah,
I love the guy. Me too, Artie. I've always loved Al Horford. Because I was super into the Celtics when they had Paul Pierce and stuff. So I followed them pretty closely for a while until I just kind of didn't really have a rooting interest anymore. But I used to watch a lot of Al Horford when he was first on the Celtics, and he was fun to watch. And he shows up big. He's known to be a really clutch dude, and boy did he show that shit last night. And I've been saying this has been a theme on, and so have you, Artie, our podcast for a while. A lot of the episodes we've done on both shows, that we have 4 championships. Okay. The seasons don't all have to amount to championships. The kind of game that happened last night is why we're still watching. That is why it's still amazing to watch Steph Curry. It's why it's still amazing to watch this team. And people who don't enjoy it, and there's still people saying, "Oh, it's just a playing game." Dude, what else do you expect? We have 4 titles. We won an epic series last year, and that's all I could ask for last year. And we just won this epic game that's going to be memorable forever last night. And I think
that's a great point, man.
Spoiled. They're not. you know, they're like, oh, it's just a playing game. Do you know how much this game would have been the highlight of our whole fucking life as basketball fans before 2015? Like, this would have been up there with We Believe, easy. I mean, there's no, I don't know, there's, what am I trying to say? The outlook of fans is just very jaded and strange how they don't enjoy these moments.
Well, here's the thing.
Perspective. There's no perspective with modern days.
I said this, and I wasn't saying I didn't want this game because I 100% wanted Steph Curry in the court in any game that is a win or go home. But the fans are saying if we lose, we have a 10% chance of a top 4 lottery pick or a 2% chance of a number 1 or number 2 pick. And so that's valid. Sure, who wouldn't want to have a high lottery pick when it's one of the better drafts in the NBA. But if you were to tell me right now, pick, David, you can have the number 4 pick or you can have the game you saw last night, 100% I'm asking for that game last night because that is why I watch basketball, is for moments like that with players like that. And anything else beyond that is just a hope and a dream that I get to see somebody build up their career to have another moment. And so what do I have? Hope for the number 4 pick so we can wait 20 years to see if the guy can have a Steph Curry game?
That's nonsense.
That's nonsense.
I'm here to tell you, too, that basketball is freaking underrated and that playoff basketball is so much fun. And I know everybody out there I like the NFL rules. NFL playoffs are not as fun as NBA playoffs. It's not even close. You get 7-game series. You get personalities. You get matchups. You get chess. You get whatever you want to call it. You get a whole series you get to play with. There's nothing like an NBA playoff series. There's nothing like I love.
It's funny you say that, Art, because
it's
100% true. Here's the thing: we love the build-up to an NFL playoff game more than we love the build-up to an NBA playoff game. But we love an NBA playoff game more than we love an NFL playoff game. And that's what it's all about. It's about the excitement build-up. That's what the NFL does. And it's not that it's disappointing, and these NFL games can be fantastic, but Game 7s. Nothing beats Game 7s.
Absolutely.
And NFL doesn't have that.
And frankly, even if I'm in the playoffs, and I'm not going to sit here and lie and tell you I like baseball playoffs more than NFL playoffs if the Giants aren't in it, but give me the Giants in it, I'm taking the Giants playoff series over the Chiefs in the playoffs. Like, to me, there's something magical about baseball series too, because you got matchups, you got bullpens, you got managers, you got hanging on every pitch, right? Like the way you get to watch every pitch and you actually get to see the game, right? The NFL, just the simple fact that you don't see the whole field, it's a whole different feel what you're watching, and you're hoping for the result you want. But I'm telling you, man, last night reminded me how much I love the NBA playoffs, and I can't wait to watch another little run. And even if the Warriors don't make it, I can't wait to watch some other teams and see how it goes. But fucking what a night.
And also now with the disparity or just the difference between regular season NBA and playoff NBA, it's 2 different sports, dude. It's 2 different games. And the NBA playoffs reminds us of like, oh yeah, I love basketball. And like when I was a kid, I fucking ate the shit up, like hook, line, and sinker. I was a basketball diehard. But now when you just tune into like a regular season NBA game for any given team, and especially when it's the G League Warriors without Steph or, half their squad, it's like, what the hell is this? This isn't that enjoyable to watch. But when you watch playoff basketball, you're reminded of how hard people used to play when we grew up watching basketball. And I might sound like a get off my lawn old head, but it's true. There was so much intensity still in the NBA playoffs. I don't think they have that in the NBA regular season, nearly even close to what they used to in the old days. And so that's where a lot of people get disenchanted, especially the older crowd. Young guys, I think, still love the NBA, even the regular season. But it's just really a treat to watch, to your point, to watch NBA playoff basketball. When 2 teams, and these athletes, how skilled they are and how amazing they are, how amazing their willpower is, just how good they are at the sport, when that's on display and they're actually playing their asses off as competitively as possible, that is something to behold. And we saw that last night. We've seen that in every play in game so far.
You know how pumped we're going to be if we get to please just beat Phoenix. Please just do it. Like, please just do it. Because if you do it, you know how fun, like how excited we're going to be. Warriors down 2-1 heading into game 4. You know how pumped we're going to be trying to get that game 4 win. That's my prediction, right? That's
so
what
true.
We're going to be down 2-1, and we'll be like, dude, if we win this game, If we win this,
Anything
game,
can
we
happen.
win this series. and I'm telling you, man, that's what I'm looking for, man. Just get me to down 2-1 in the OKC series. That's what I want. If we get there, man, we're gonna come back to this moment.
The premonition will be recorded.
Win that game.
The short will be Art's game 4 down 2-1. The premonition is real. Let's go. I love it, Art. Great take.
Yeah, what's up, Guy, on the chat line? Good to have you. So yeah, I mean, let's put a bow on the Dubs. I want that same feeling I got last night, that euphoric, natural winning high that the Warriors gave us last night. I want that tomorrow. I want to be greedy, Dubs fans. And I honestly think Dylan Brooks is supplying some of that energy. Me as an energy guy, he's helping with that energy. Zach coming on here saying, "Oh, you guys are going to rout him, you're going to blow him out." That does not give me that energy. But here,
last energy piece right here, fellas.
Team, win or go home, do or die. This is what you play for. Tell me what you're feeling right now, Draymond.
I'm exhausted, but it feels good. You know, this was a back and forth game. They made a run, we made a run, they made a run, and we got the great Steph Curry and the great Al Horford, and they took us home. It was a beautiful thing.
You guys were 7-34 when trailing after 3 quarters this season. What changed this time?
This is the one of those 41 that if we lose, we go home. And we don't want to go home. We want to keep playing. Anytime you got Steph Curry, you got a chance. So it's on all of us to do our parts to give him a chance to show his greatness. Everybody did their part. Brandon Brzezinski was huge. Everybody did their part. Guy Santos, and we allow him to be Steph Curry.
Nobody knows Steph Curry better than you, Draymond. The moment the ball leaves his fingertips with 50 seconds left for that three-pointer, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm talking crash right there. Of course, I've seen it too many times. It's going in. I knew it. That's what he do.
Game over, huh?
Yes, sir.
Enjoy the win. Thanks, Draymond.
Thanks, Doc.
I just got goosebumps, literally.
Amazing stuff. And I just want to say this to close it out. You guys know I used to be kind of a Steph contrarian. I was like, yeah, he's dope. He's amazing. I want KD over him all day to take the final shot. He's kind of a head case at times. He doesn't close out games enough. I see him now having that thing where as you age, you become more confident and you're more comfortable in your skin and you're more confident in your abilities. You have the experience. You've been there before and you trust yourself more. And I've been noticing that in Steph now for the last couple of years. That even though he gets hurt, I have so much more faith in him down the stretch, like in the fourth quarter. He seems so much more at ease with himself. He doesn't have that nervous energy he used to have at times when he was younger. And the dude has just turned into such a staple in the pantheon of Bay Area legends. And I am happy to say I'm no longer a Steph Curry contrarian. I'm 100%
full believer, baby. He's in. Jake, but you make good points.
I've always loved him, but yeah.
He had that as a problem for many years. He had big fourth quarters, but that last 90 seconds, oftentimes, he would kind of disappear to the level that made you a little uncomfortable. He didn't hit those game winners for a long time. And then all of a sudden, he started hitting them, and he realized he could, and it was over. Once he figured out mentally how to do it, and do it with a little bit of consistency, he's all about consistency. No one is a more consistent basketball player than Steph Curry. That's what makes him the GOAT for Dubs fans. And he did it. He figured it out, man. He solved that riddle. And now you just think if he's open and he gets his feet even remotely set and his body square, cash.
I mean, it started with getting stronger, right? Like 7 or 8 years ago, he got significantly stronger. And once he got significantly stronger, he was more comfortable taking it to the bucket. And once he got comfortable taking it to the bucket, and I mean in crunch time, he's hard to guard again. Right? He wasn't actually hard to guard when he was young. He was actually just like, it's like, yeah, if you're really going to just shoot a step back three, and he was going to miss it at that age much more often than he was now, frankly, because to your point and his own point that he made on the podium last night, earning your confidence, right? He's been working harder than anybody, and he's earned the confidence, and now he has the confidence. And so, yeah, like both the shots go in more and the defenders have more to think about, right? Like, because he really wasn't, he couldn't really go to the rack when he was young, or wouldn't. I shouldn't say couldn't. He wouldn't in crunch time, and so people I think kind of knew that. And yeah, I think we were all on the same page. Like whenever you talked about Steph, I would have taken him over anybody in the NBA for quite some time for 37 minutes or 47 minutes. But that last minute, there were plenty of players I would have taken over Curry for a while. And when that changed, not a few years ago, and I think you might have misspoke, more like 7 or 8 years ago, maybe even longer. But yeah, when that flip switched, hell yeah, it was.
Well, I'm saying even when KD, I guess KD has been gone now for 7, 8 years. Yeah, so exactly. After KD left, I think Steph, especially after his injury in 2020, starting in 21, where he averaged like 33 a game or whatever, 35 a game. That's the first year where I was like, oh, this dude knows he's the man now, and he will just. He took the whole team on his back. Their roster was terrible that year. And what did they do that year? They made the play-in, and then
that's when they lost the Lakers on a Draymond scratched eyeball on LeBron,
Right.
and then he hit it, and then they lost to Memphis. And that was that year that I was so disappointed in the playoffs, because I think that team had so much. They were gifted with energy. The energy that team brought out every night. That's when Poole was just starting to figure it out too.
Yeah,
it was such a fun basketball team to watch. That's also when I got Suzanne into NBA hoops. She was all about the NBA now, just because of that basketball team. That's how special they were. Even though there's nothing to show for it, that was a transitional basketball team, and I think that's what created the 22 championship.
Yeah, and Steph was basically he had a Barry Bonds type of season. Like, it was appointment television watching him play that year.
He was averaging over 30 a night at that point.
Yeah, it was like 35, I think. It was crazy. It was like Kobe. He had the Kobe shot load. Like, he put up that kind of volume, but it was like Steph efficiency. It was incredible. That was such a good year. All right. Well, that was man, it's so fun talking Warriors. We've already gone 50 minutes. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. I could talk
Time
Warriors
flies.
for another 5 hours. Stop. But
You know why you want to talk more Warriors? Because we don't want to talk about the Giants. Why do we do this to ourselves? But let's give it a little bit of Giants time, and we can all costume change.
Yeah, right. Before Giants, I want to do our Hum Daddies tradition. What are you drinking? What are you wearing? It looks like Dave has a festive jersey on. You want to start with yourself, Mr. Yellow?
Sure, man. I mean, I got my Draymond green on. You know, I'm a Greenstein. I got my Greenlaw jersey from Jake back in the day. Anything with green in the last name, I will put it on my back if it's from the Bay. And Draymond, especially with the way he got to play last night and show up when it mattered most, it always just reminds you that even when he looks crummy, old, whatever, all the things we talk about, you still love the guy when he puts his foot in somebody's mouth. And I love that. I love the matching style there from my boy Art.
On me here, but
Beautiful. Van Exel. See that coming.
Wow.
So, and then I had, it used to be a lot more, but a big Caucasian, a white Russian. I always drink these after a night that our newfound big man hero in the paint comes through with clutch time minutes. And I mean, Zinger is he is so good. And you only watch him a little bit here and there on the Celtics. And obviously you saw him through his career, bits and pieces. But when you get a full night, and that's the fun thing about being a fan of a team and getting a guy on, you kind of see how they really play fully. And it's been short-lived, but Zinger is a hooper. And the guy loves playing basketball. And so if he can stay healthy, if we can find any way to coax him back to playing for the Warriors again, for the pure love of the game, and that he gets to see what it's like to play with Steph and Draymond, I can't wait for next season other than Friday. That's the only reason I can't win. I can win.
Absolutely.
Anyway, after that, Art, what are you drinking? And now, what are you wearing?
We are drinking water. A nice water in the cup. More water in the glass. There's gonna be a lot of water over the next few months, probably. We'll see how that goes. And then we got Nikki V, man. We got Nikki V's a City Edition jersry. I loved watching Nick Van Exel at the line. You know, he said, let me get an extra 6 inches. I don't want to be that close. Get that left foot forward. You know, we're not going to square up. We're going to have a little off square style, and we're going to drain them all day, man. Before We Believe, he was right before We Believe, right? That's my recollection. And I was
like end of his career.
Yeah. But end of his career don't matter, baby. He was out here balling on you, still giving buckets for the Warriors. I love the Nikki V era. Don't get it twisted.
The only Lakers team I ever liked was Cedric Ceballos, Nick Van Exel. I think Eddie Jones might have been a rookie or something back
Eddie
then.
Jones was so raw.
That
Eddie
was
Jones, what a pull. One of the most underrated players maybe in the history of the NBA. He was so goddamn good. He was really good.
Hey, yeah. And John Joseph, I see you out there. This is numero 5, and it's tattered in the back. B. Diddy.
Nice.
Diddy. One of my all-time favorite players in the NBA, man.
Yeah, I got this. I believe, I don't know if it was We Believe year or the year after. Big B. Diddy fan. We loved watching that guy play. All of us. I mean, all Warriors fans love B. Diddy. And he's kind of slept on. He's forgotten. I mean, the guy just didn't keep himself in shape enough to live up to his potential. I mean, and whatever. And I just want to point out these epic Steph arm things I got on a giveaway. That was a night at Oracle, I believe, late 2017 or early 2018 in the 17-18 season.
Looking good.
So, thank you. That was a hell of a giveaway.
That is a golden oldies right there if I've ever seen one.
And I'm drinking. Since my birthday, I drank a little on my birthday, and now I'm keeping it all NA. And I love beer, so I got to keep drinking beer. It's another John Joseph. You're gonna hate it. It's another non-alcoholic, and this is my favorite. I've showed it before. Fieldwork, Day Money Grapefruit Blonde, non-alcoholic. It's delicious non-alcoholic beer.
Man. Ice cold water goes a long way. You drink 8 to 10 cups of those. You piss
I got
that. Feel good.
I love my liquids. I love drinks. I got so much Spindrift in the fridge. I got this Whole Foods lime sparkling waters. I gotta have my NA beer for the night. Crack 1 or 2 of those bad boys every night. So, okay. Do you want to talk Giants? Let's talk fucking Giants. Let's do it.
We gotta be quick because we also want to get some Sharks takes for the end of the season.
Yeah,
and we could die on a Giants spree here, but. Listen, Art, I mean, I want to hear what you have to say about what you've seen thus far. We're 7-12. We grabbed one game in Cincinnati today, which was a nice win and almost resulted in a straight brawl at the end. And it's kind of like, what the hell are we doing? Do we even have an identity at this moment? What do you think? What is there?
I think the Giants, if anybody's being realistic or fair or whatever you want to call it, their job to make anybody believe they're anything is to go have 2 months of legitimate baseball, because the San Francisco Giants haven't played 2 months of legit baseball for 4 years, and we're all excited after that 3-game win streak. And what idiots we were, right? This is the same. I mean, it's been really hard to watch this Giants team. They don't put the ball in play. They don't walk. They don't hit for power. They don't have speed. Low average pitching. Like, this team is really, really frustrating. And then you got Tony V, the college man, the insecure head of the fucking show that doesn't really know what the hell he's doing, making just ridiculous. It's hard right now. And I just want to sit back. I want to not be too emotionally invested. I want to say, prove it, right? I love Landon Root. I think he's the only guy so far this year that I've really, him and Arise, they come to play baseball when they're there, right? And I appreciated him being a
Robbie Ray's
been great. You're right. And I actually loved watching Robbie Ray the other day.
Ray saw it. Good vibes out of Robbie.
Yeah, he pitched
Landon Root too.
Landon Root. That's what I just said. He was a stopper today. He was the stopper last time. He's the one getting us our wins. His pitching, he's added a lot to his pitching. He's got one of the best curveballs in baseball. He's got a changeup he's using more now. I love Root, but like the 4 or 5 starters, give me a break. They had a good start, so everybody was like, come on, Maul. And who the fuck's the other guys? A Hauser or some shit? Give me a break. These guys are terrible. So your 4 or 5 are no good, right? You got to get better back into the rotation. And then your bullpen is who are these guys? Like, I hope they're good. Loved Eric Miller. Sit the fuck down. I loved it.
Oh, I mean, that's
good. Great.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
But yeah,
fuck you.
To me, it's a little bit more. To me, it's a little bit more like, I'm not going to sit here or I'm going to try not to ebb and flow week by week, because, we see Chapman get hot. We've seen Devers get hot. That's who they are. They're streaky hitters. But as a club, we've seen this team go this way, this way, this way, this way, this way, this way for 3-4 years now and end up where they are. And they seem lucky to end up where they are, right? Frankly, I would say the Giants usually feel lucky at 80, 81 and 81 or around there, right? Wherever they finish. They seem a little worse than 500, but they seem a little worse than a 500 team. I always seem a little bit like, oh, how'd you end up 500? not like, oh, you should have won 92 games. Like
last year on paper, I think they're better than 500, and they ended up at 500.
They
But
lost.
maybe not.
They
Maybe
lost.
look at
They lost
this year,
a
it's the
couple.
same roster.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. Like, I like the roster in theory, but what they did was exactly the opposite of what I asked for, right? Early on when we talked Giants, I said, if you want to compete with a payroll that's way above yours, if you want to compete with a juggernaut, you don't build the most competitive lineup you can. You go build a pitching staff. You go make sure you got one of the best bullpens in baseball. You go make sure you got one of the best starting rotations in baseball, and you hope you can get 3 runs. You hope you can get 4 runs.
That's where you're like a guy like Susak, who no one even had a pulse on, is your best hitter, which just proves once and again that pitching is reliable and is the base for a winning baseball team. And hitting, you'll figure it out. You'll find a way. As long as the pitching's there, it gives you a little more confidence that your AB doesn't matter as much, and that takes a little stress off, and then you get some knocks. I want to hear Jake rattle off, because you know the Giants better than anybody. You're like right now, you're always dialed in on this team. But my quick feeling right now with this team is they are going to have more streaks. They're going to have 5 wins, 6 swing thing. They're going to put it together, and we might land at around the mid 70s. And there's going to be plenty of moments where I think this team has something. But what we don't have, and to your point about this like consistent level of taking a good AB, and Jake, you made these points so many times about taking the good AB, about taking that pitch, not just swinging at anything, about not making the bad running mistake. And you even like, I literally heard you pretty much sound like Brian Nichols, I think last on Tuesday night. And it was just hilarious. Like you just do and Art, you played for Brian and I played for Brian. This is our high school baseball coach who was, a collegiate baseball player and had great talent behind the dish as a catcher, but couldn't hit for shit as far as I could tell.
He tore it up in high school.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. I didn't make you tear it up in high school. College is where you start to figure it out, because everybody throws 85 miles an hour or more, right? Yeah. So, but what he taught us is execution. That was the most fundamental thing about playing baseball was execution. And what does this team do worse than every other team in the MLB right now? That is it. They can't execute on anything. They don't have a plan. There's no like this at bat matters because I'm going to turn this into a 10 pitch at bat. I am a guy who isn't hitting well right now. I'm in a little of a slump. Instead of trying to swing at the first pitch and get a knock, I'm going to turn this into a long AB. I'm going to try and work the count so that the next guy has a good shot. Like that's not going through the minds of these hitters. They're not thinking about the collective benefit of I take a bunch of pitches, I work the count, I bring it back to the dugout, we talk about it, we get somebody else some good identity on what this guy's trying to accomplish. I don't think that happens with these guys. I think everybody's playing their own little individual tennis match and doesn't give a shit about the collective good. And I think until Tony V figures that out and knows how to inspire that type of message to your at bat matters, even if you're in a slump, go figure out a way to do something positive. This team is just going to scratch and claw for 65 to 75 wins. I'm done.
No, I agree with everything you said. I mean, it's getting really hard to watch these guys. And I mean, Zach and I talked about them for like an hour on Tuesday. So that kind of wore me out. I got my catharsis of expelling all the Giants demons that night. Thank God. One thing I will say, I thought maybe I was too hard on Tony V, but now I'm thinking Daniel Susak has not started 2 games in a row this year. He hasn't started 2 games in a row this year. He's 9 for 17. He's second or third on the Giants in hits? He's 9 for 17. He's hitting .563. He has not started 2 games in a row this year. Pat Bailey is 6 for 50. 6 for 50. He's hitting 114 or something. He starts every goddamn game, day in, day out. He went over 3 and struck out twice today. He's 6 for 50. Susak started 3 games so far. He's one of the team leaders in WAR. He is the team leader in WAR. He's one of the team leaders in hits. And he threw a guy out in his second game of 3 games starting, and he's a really good defensive catcher. So if this dude, Tony V, is going to manage like that all year, we have absolutely no fucking shot of competing. How do you not reward a guy who gets multiple hits every game? He's the only guy hitting on the entire fucking team, and you don't start him on back-to-back days. How does that make
guys
sense?
do when they just get weirdly ingratiated into positions? Like, who the fuck told the Giants that Patrick Bailey was their catcher, and that's just what it is, and there's nothing about it? Like, I'll never understand.
Even Bochy would
he can't be your guaranteed catcher. What? Because his WAR's high? Because he's safe defensive? He hasn't been an adequate hitter for 3 years. Now we're talking. He's been one of the worst hitters in baseball for 3 years, and he hasn't even had comp. It's not even a question of who's starting a catcher. It's just like, oh yeah, you got one of the best catchers in ball. He controls the staff. Controls the staff, my ass. Controls the staff. I mean, come on.
It's a fallacy.
I don't understand when that happens. I don't even understand how it happened.
After Susak's second start, he got another 3 hits. He was 6 for his first 7. Patrick Bailey was in the next day. On the KMBR pregame, coaches show, John Miller or Dave, I think it was John Miller, was talking to Tony V. And he's like, so yeah, I see Susak's not in the lineup today. What do you have to say for him? Is there going to be a competition? And he's like, well, yeah, Giants fans really appreciate the way he's reminding people of Rich Aurelia. I can see that. First of all, like, what the fuck are you talking of? Rich Aurelia? Okay, because he's 6 for 7 as a catcher? What's that have to do with Rich Aurelia? And then
dumbass probably thought Rich Aurelia was a catcher.
Yeah, probably. And then he said,
looks like a catcher, right? You don't look like a shortstop.
No.
You don't see that guy.
He's got a pudgy squish face.
Wide looking dude with a fucking dip in. Yeah.
It's probably one of the only Giants he knows because that's like the dude he talks to on the postgame show. Yeah, he's looking like Rich Aurelia, and Giants fans are going to love that, but you got to understand, we're not going to win every game Daniel Susak catches. That's just part of the game. We're not going to win it. At that point, we were 2-0 in the games he caught. And then he started Pat Bailey again for 5 or 6 straight days, and Susak got like 1 AB as a pinch hitter. So that's where Tony V's at. And if that's who our manager is, I was like blindly trusting Buster Posey all year until the last week or two, and I'm starting to see that was a bad choice for me as a fan to just blindly trust that hire. Because looking at it now, dude is out of his depth. I went in on this on Tuesday. I'm not going to get back into it too much. But just telltale signs are Pat Bailey's not good at hitting. He's 6 for 50. The only thing he's ever done is have last year he had 3 walk-off jacks, I believe.
He has clutch moments that make you forget how bad he is as hitting.
Right.
Crawford
this year,
that shit too, and it drove me crazy.
Yep.
This year, in a very close game, in the 9th inning, this motherfucker, Tony V, pulls Pat Bailey to pinch hit Susak in the 9th inning. And that's the only time Pat Bailey's any good at hitting. So he obviously has no idea what the hell he's doing. And then he started Pat Bailey the next day and he went 0 for 4 or whatever.
Quick take on Pat Bailey. Art, your point is perfect. Pat Bailey is a catcher's catcher. He is not a hitter. And if you're going to keep rolling this guy out just for the pitching staff, the pitching staff better be right now top 10 in baseball, easy. And they're not. So his value is I can throw a guy out. That doesn't matter. That stat is, if you look at sabermetrics, does not matter really. So what are we looking at really here? You need to look at who you're up against. The Dodgers have one of the best catchers in baseball. We have one of the worst catchers in baseball. And if you look at the Dodgers and the Giants, and I've done this comparison way back with Jake and Joe, if you look at it, the best Giant, it was the Giants or the Dodgers, whoever the better team was, watch the catchers. Whoever had the better catcher was winning championships, was winning divisions, had a winning baseball team, whether it was LaDuca, Piazza, or what's the catcher's name right now? I don't know why I'm spacing. The Dodgers catcher.
Russell Martin?
No. Right now.
Oh, Will Smith.
Will Smith, who is one of the best catchers in baseball. That is defining your team. When Buster Posey was our catcher, we were one of the better teams. So, you just realize how important this position is for hitting beyond just the catching part. And it makes a big impact. And we're undermining how important it is to have a guy who can hit. It's time to let Susak have a little more runway, throw Bailey on the bench a bit, and just see what happens. I mean, we have nothing to lose right now because we're losing. So throw Susak out there. He's not going to – he's a 265 career hitter probably, But let the guy play a little
The
bit.
minors, I think he was
He was 280s.
like a 290 guy. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's in the MLB. So I'm
and he's hitting fucking 580. So
and 17 at bats. But yes, I agree.
Oh, okay, Mr. Tony V. Oh, you only have 17 at bats. He's in the MLB. You sound just like fucking Tony V. Give me a break. He's leading the team in WAR. He has 9 hits. He's like third on the team in hits. He's hardly played.
I think you misunderstand. I'm saying play Susac. I'm just saying he's not going to hit 565.
It's obvious you have to play him. It's not even a question. Like, what are you doing not playing him? It doesn't make any sense.
Who the fuck taught Arise how to catch a guy and make a tag at second base? Why does he fucking catch the ball 4 feet in front of second every time the runner's trying to steal a base? I heard someone trying to explain it. Like, is it a new strategy? Because I don't know what the fuck it is. Go watch Arise.
I haven't seen that before. I gotta watch.
When he's covering second,
he doesn't receive.
Catching the ball 4 feet in front of the plate and trying to tag them on their leg or something, their back leg. I don't understand it, but it's insane. He gave up a base runner once. The next time he did kind of tag him well, but like Arise, the only fucking hitter worth watching that you actually can enjoy because all these other guys are absolutely asinine. The guy at second base is completely awkward. I mean, any stolen base attempt, you're like, hey, it's very confused. And this is going to make me feel like I'm like not knowledgeable about something I did my whole life, right? Like I used to field the ball in front of the bag too, but I was like right on it in front of it. This fool is like 4 feet in front of it. And I'm very confused. And the announcers have been mentioning it, right? Like different ones. I've heard Fleming mention it and one of the guys that I'm not sure who he was mention it. And one time the mention was like, sort of like, what's he doing? Right. And then the next time it was almost like they wanted to let fans know that this is like, and Arise likes to get the ball like a little in front of the bag. And I'm just like, what is it? I don't even know what I'm watching, but the dude, I'm pretty sure is going to cost us more than a few outs if he keeps doing this. Receiving the throws from catchers on stolen base.
Well, he's not known for his defense. Good thing he's hitting 330 right now.
It's definitely a thing. And he only signed with us. And John Joseph, thank you. You're the MVP of the chat tonight. Thanks, brother. Keep it on the stream and have a safe drive home. But Arise, I think only said like no one was signing him. It was because he wanted to play second base and no one would let him play second base. And the Giants let him play second base.
I know it's garbage, but that's like one thing that's not that complicated. That's like, again,
I know.
Fucking Ron Washington or Tony V, you say, what the fuck are you doing? Don't catch the ball 4 feet in front of the bag next time, pal. That's like
I know. And I would think they have a nice run in them to start to make the season look like it's alive again, but I don't there just seems something rotten in Denmark with this team for some reason. And I don't think I've ever felt that this early on about a team that was supposed to be this good and then is this bad. Like there's other teams.
They had a great spring too. They had a great spring. They made you believe that there was something to this team.
Frankly,
they probably Tony V was trying to win games in spring instead of working on the shit you needed to work on.
What are the Giants' records in Webb starts? Like
they've lost every one of them, I think.
I mean, I was just gonna say he's part of the problem. So imagine he's your one. Get 3-1 in his starts or 4-0 in his starts. I think he's pitched 4 times. I can't remember. But turn those into wins, and you're closer to 500, right? And he's your ace. He's your guy. So that's one guy I look to specifically that needs to just turn it around and do it quick. Because if he's going to be a top 15 pitcher, then okay, now your pitching staff looks a little better. Because at least now we're like you got that top 3. Maybe you find someone in the farm. Maybe somebody gets healthy. Whatever it is, you figure out your 4th and 5th if it's not Molly and Hauser. But like, if Webb is who he is, I think we can both agree the only 2 people we named to start was Ray and Roop. We like what they're doing, right? So if you can have a big 3 at the front of your rotation and turn it into something you can rely on, now we got a chance. If and again a big if, the bullpen can be legit, and they look like they got a few guys back there, so we'll see. But
yeah, I mean, it's such a frustrating topic.
Get your head out of your ass.
Yeah, exactly. How many times can you hit into double plays when there's a runner on first and no outs? How many times can you strike out with a runner on third and less than 2 outs? It happens almost every game, multiple times a game. It's like no other team does it.
Anti-clutch. We don't have the clutch gene in these guys.
It's not clutch to move a guy over. It's not clutch to do what it takes to get a run in with less than 2 outs.
So
it's not clutch to not hit into a fucking double play. It's just smart baseball. It's approach-driven baseball.
It is.
I don't get it.
That's being clutch.
So
That's being clutch. That's executing, man. That's what it's all about. They don't know how to do the
Well,
little
I'm not
things.
asking guys for 2-out knocks. I'm asking guys to do simple baseball plays and hit. It's.
But
I
those
don't.
aren't
I
even,
wouldn't say
that's the
that's
problem, Jake. But that's the problem, and we've talked about it. Those aren't baseball plays anymore. I mean, like, you want something that isn't asked for anymore.
It's like I've seen, Adames' stats are good this year so far. The guy with ducks on the pond comes up and just swings and misses 3 times in a row. But when there's no one on base, he'll hit a jack. It's the most infuriating shit.
Jacks are so overrated. I don't even understand. I really don't understand why people love jacks. And he's like, yeah, half your jacks, you were probably down 5-0, and now you're 5-1 or 5-2. I don't give a fuck. You sucked all year. I mean, it's just, I don't get it. If you're not hitting 45, right? Maybe at least 35. If you're giving me like 24 jacks and 11 of them like meant absolutely nothing, right?
Yeah.
Like most of these things didn't mean nothing. So
Right.
it's like, what are we talking about? Like, you got to be hitting the ball, putting pressure on the defense, getting on base, putting like all this is what baseball is.
Great base running is one of the most underrated, beautiful things about the game. And the guys who did it well, Will Clark was renowned for being a great base runner, not being particularly fast, getting first to third and having a good read off the base. All these little parts of the game are just totally overlooked. It feels like, I mean, obviously the Giants announcers understand and can talk about it, but it's just not really thought through anymore because it's not part of the method you go about scoring runs. Everything is just sabermetrics into walk and hit a home run, and that's it. That's all really. That's the only way you count runs.
They don't walk.
I know that. I'm just saying, and that's because we suck. We've bought into this.
We don't
rule
do
of thumb.
anything. We don't even do the cheap analytical shit right.
Yeah,
we don't
exactly.
Do
If we can't do that, we better go back to the old school way of playing baseball and figure out how to run the bases and move a guy over.
No, we're
Somebody
the
do
worst
that.
team at analytics, and we can't do like the old way of hitting either. So I don't see a fix here, man.
And speaking of base running and the power of that, man, shout out Jimmy McDermott. I remember when we were having our little bit of a struggle season as seniors, man, all you needed to do, Jimmy's going to get on base. He's going to go steal second. He might steal you third, and he's guaranteed scoring if he gets on base because he was fast as hell, aggressive, and smart base runner. And there was nothing more fun, man. I was a fan of watching him on base, and there wasn't too many people I was like a fan of, and he would do all.
We had a similar guy, Art, on my squad. It was Josh Harvey, who you probably saw a little bit of, and he was the same way. All it matters is get that guy on base. And he's still
Gene was not the same. Gene was way faster, but it wasn't the same element. Maybe as he got older.
Josh also was just a very smart base runner. He knew how to get, and he would steal those 2 bases almost automatic. If he got thrown out at third, it was like damn, that was really surprising. He had moments of not being a great hitter, but like this is what it's all about. Like you need guys, like honestly, like the Giants need to go back and look at who's fast and can get on base. Maybe we start there and we start with just this. There's no double play if you steal second base. So
you gotta
fuck
put
it.
Pressure
Let's
on
just
teams
do
too.
that.
You got to do something to put pressure on teams. Again, my favorite play, and I'll give me 2 seconds because this is really why I wanted to mention Lil Jimbo. My favorite play in high school ever. We're going up against Dontrell Willis, NL Rookie of the Year, right? Didn't he win it? Anyway, we all know Dontrell, absolute baller, had a short career. He kind of fizzled out. But we're playing NCNL. Jimmy's on second base. This fucker's smart enough to know we're not going to score many runs. There's 1 out. Routine ground ball hit to third, shortstop. I've never seen anything like it. The dude just pretended like it was a base knock. Full speed, rounded the bag. Nobody's telling him to go. Dude's just like, I'm about to just fucking score on a routine ground ball from fucking second, and he did it. And like, the Giants need somebody that'll at least put pressure on the defense, man. It's so fun to watch baseball like that, and we don't do nothing like
dude.
It, man.
Art,
nothing like it.
And I only had a chance to play one sport with Jimmy, and it was soccer because he was a senior and I was a sophomore. But that style and that mindset, I guarantee that Jimmy on second base was saying, if that ball's hit on the ground, I'm scoring. I'm just taking that chance because I know that's a worthwhile. And this comes back to like, know your competitive team. It's high school baseball. The chance that this guy makes the play, gets it to first base, the chance that the guy who's playing first base having a good arm, an accurate arm, is unlikely. Because who plays first base usually in high school baseball? A guy who can't throw well. Sometimes some guys do, but not many
Kenny
guys.
Lofton again. Give us a Kenny Lofton, give us a Young Bonds, give us a Vince Coleman,
a Deion
give us
Sanders,
someone like Deion.
Man, anyway, I got to run soon.
But anyway, I was going to say,
right.
so Jared, I think his first name's Jared Oliva, who the Giants kept over Luis Matos was supposed to be that guy. He's kind of a journeyman, and he's super fast. But he played like 2 games. Now he's on the deal.
All right. We got maybe 5 minutes left for Art to stay on. Jake, you want to go through some Sharks season recap real quick, or what do you want to wait for Joe to come on next week?
Yeah, I just want to say real quick, it was that loss against the Canucks is still. I'm not ready to actually reflect on the whole thing because that was so pathetic. They lost they had to stay alive, beat the last place team in the entire NHL, just beat them. And then they would have had a chance to make the playoffs with 3 games left. They lost to the last place team in the NHL on home ice in a shootout. They had this miraculous goal in the third period. It was 3-2, and then they gave it right up. And then nothing happened in overtime. They played so tense. I mean, I think these young guys were the grind of that long of a season kind of got to them. And then that shootout was one of the ugliest things I've ever seen in sports history. It took like 8 shots to get a winner for each team. But just in general, Macklin Celebrini is such a stud. Everyone's saying, it's the next coming of the Bay Area's Buster or Steph or whatever. I sure hope.
He's talked about revered as one of the potential greats of hockey, right? Like people are thinking he might become the next.
He's already top 3 or 4 in the league right now.
Yeah. No, but I mean, people are thinking he might be.
He's 19.
It feels like from afar, it feels like he's a legend in the making, not
Absolutely.
You're very, very good.
He's breaking a bunch of records for his age,
he has the potential to be one of the 5 best hockey players of all time, and he's 19. That's what the conversation already is, because no one's done anything like this since the guys like Gretzky and Sidney Crosby, and he's competed at the highest level.
David is a stud.
David is amazing. Oh my God, that guy just owns.
He owned the Sharks this year, that's for sure.
And he did.
But
here's the best part about it, Art. We're gonna go through a lull here as the Warriors eventually have to digest the fact that we're gonna not have Steph Curry. The Giants are mediocre. They're gonna be for a little while. There's no denying it. We're not all of a sudden gonna have an epiphany with this team and this coach, manager.
Fire Tony V. That's the only way.
The Niners are also probably a little over the hump on their talent, and while they can rebuild, they probably have 2 years left of runway of potentially winning a Super Bowl or going deep in the playoffs, and then they're potentially middle of the pack. But NFL, you can rebuild more quickly than you can in other leagues. But hockey, and Joe said this before, hockey is where the Bay Area is going to go to try and get a satisfaction of winning sports pretty soon. And because this guy's so young, you got a 20-year runway potentially of great hockey. And so I've started to be like, you know what? I never really was into hockey growing up, but shit, I want to watch sports and enjoy something out of the Bay. So I might go ahead and dip the toe in a little deeper than I'm used to and watch some hockey and watch a guy be great because I like that. And so I'm kind of excited about learning a new sport. And I kind of want to inspire others to do that.
Dave, the thing is, he has Will Smith.
Yeah.
The Sharks have a Will Smith who's damn good too. And I think he just turned 20, but he was 19 most of the year. And you got Michael Misa, who was a rookie this year. He's like 18 or 19. So it reminds a lot of people of the young cores of the Giants in the early 2010s.
It's not just
the Warriors in 2012 through now. So there's a lot of potential. Macklin Celebrini already broke the points record for the Sharks. So it was a very good season. It was once they started going, though, I thought it was going to be a better season. But from Jump Street, they did way better when all is said and done than people thought they would.
Yep.
So there you go. All right. Any last thoughts, boys and girls?
And just pray for a good day tomorrow. We got a big game tomorrow.
Love to get it.
It comes that quick, man. We got to get these good juju out there. We got to find a way, boys. We got to find a way to beat Phoenix. I'm telling you right now, Phoenix is a pretty good team, man. Everybody thinks they're garbage. Zach jinxed us. I'm telling you. So we're gonna have to
Zach did try to jinx us for sure.
Yeah. I don't even think he was trying to. I just think it was just the worst omen listening to that man talk about how bad the Suns are. So
what do you predict? How do you think this game, real quick, 5 minutes, how do you think this game is going to play out as far as style of basketball? Is it going to be close the whole way? Is somebody going to jump out in front? What do you have? Any sense? I need to know, Art. I need to put you on the spot.
It's
I need
like,
to
am I
give
a prisoner of the moment, or do I go what I would have told you a week ago?
be the prisoner. Be the prisoner.
And I don't know that I'm a prisoner of the moment, because what Jake said resonated with me, and I talked about this also a couple weeks ago on the cast. I remember when the Boston Celtics Big Three had their last run, and they had a terrible regular season, and they put it together the last 25 games and made sure and went on a hell of a run and reminded you they could look exactly like they looked like 2-3 years prior.
Right.
So I'm going to stick to that energy. I'm going to stick to the fact that you got a bunch of old dudes that have been there, done that, and they're going to be energized Friday night, and they're going to come out and they're going to get us that W. So, yeah, I'm going to stick to that good energy, that good juju. We're going to have fresh legs. We're going to come out. We're not going to let it. We don't got to think about a 7-game series. We don't have to play the best athletes in the NBA, because that's going to be scary, right? OKC 7 times, like the most athletic team in NBA. That's going to be tough. For one night, just go whoop the hell out of Phoenix. Let's go.
Who are your non-Steph players of the game for the Warriors? Who should we watch? Who do we watch?
Who do we watch?
Who are you saying this guy's going to show up in Phoenix?
I know there's one guy who's going to show up every game. So he's going to show up. I know
he's showing up.
Anthony Melton.
I will say that's one thing that is overlooked about Guy, and I think the fan base might. And I'm not trying to just be on a weird ass Guy Santos soapbox. I believe this pretty wholeheartedly. I think it's been a little underrated what he's done, and I guess it's not. I mean, media's talked about it a ton. He's been covered a ton, but like people are acting like he hasn't actually just been like legit averaging like 16, 6, and 5 for like 2 months. Like, dude, for the last like 2 months is putting up legit ass NBA numbers, playing legit minutes, 30 minutes a night. And I think he's becoming a pretty damn reliable player, and I expect him to come. I don't see him as the type of guy that answered to your question, frankly. Because, like, to me, the question you were phrased was actually different. I think he's becoming the guy you can count on the most to play like different levels of who he is. He's just either having his bad version or good version of a pretty damn solid game. And so that's why I said his name, is that I just feel confident he'll show up. I like the idea of Zingers seems loose. Zingers seems happy. And I think people who are loose and happy usually play well. And so if you want to give me a player to watch out for Zingers putting up another 20 plus and another 25 minutes and help him really be the catalyst to the win.
I'm curious if Steve Kerr kind of plays with matchups a little, and maybe you see a little Richard out there, or maybe you see a little Bassey out there. I wouldn't be mad at seeing some Bassey on the floor. So that if he gets PT, if Bassey sees the floor, that would be my guy to watch. And Anthony Melton.
I'm gonna say the word that no one wants to hear, and I don't know that it's gonna happen. And you guys are gonna call me the cooler anyway, so it doesn't really matter what I say.
Pods.
But pods. And to me, this is where you're gonna be frustrated with me. But I'm rooting for Pods more in this game than I have in any other game, and here's why. Pods is a self-conscious guy. The guy is a head case. He needs to believe in himself a little bit more than just I'm going to be the next Steph Curry, whatever the hell that. So if Pods can figure it out and participate in this game in a manner that makes it feel like he did something good and was part of the team and rose to that level, jumped up, gets a little bit of jump up and hit the back with Draymond or whatever, makes him feel a little more part of the team versus feeling like people are saying you're not really here. We don't really want you. If he can do that and the Warriors win, now we got something. So I'm rooting for Pods because I want that style of team to kind of mold together. We needed that other guy. I think Pods needs that more than anybody. So I'm hoping he has a big game just to gel the team that much more. I think it'll make a big difference. That's
I just want him to play smart basketball. That's all I ask of the guy. Like, shoot open shots. That's fine. You knock a lot of those down. Don't have stupid finicky drains and then throw up some prayer when you have a bunch of other studs around you. Don't turn the ball over like a fucking idiot, like when it's so unnecessary. If you have position to rebound, jump to get the rebound. Jump after you box out. Do that. Play smart, efficient basketball, Pods, and people will like you.
Be the rookie. Be the Pod's
That's what I
rookie.
have
We
to say
liked
about that.
All right. Good
Yeah.
shit, gentlemen. Hell of a ride. Look forward to a Friday night.
Exactly.
All right, let's go,
Cool.
Dubs.
And I asked all Dubs
Chop it
fans
up after
too.
the game, maybe, right?
I asked Dubs fans like I did yesterday. Yeah, for sure. Me and Zach are definitely going on. Anyone else is welcome in the Hum Daddies group. Or if anyone out there wants to join, let us know. Dubs fans, be hopeful and be excited tomorrow. Give good energy to the team. Choose to believe we have a shot. Choose to be positive. And we will see you tomorrow night, hopefully after a Warriors victory. Hum Daddies!
Hum Daddies.
Bye-bye.
Peace.